find a comfortable seat on the mat. Feel free to cross your legs like we are. Maybe let your legs go long. You can even sit up against the wall if that's comfortable. But anything or anywhere you can sit comfortably, try and sit up tall. Maybe roll your shoulders down or back behind you. And then if it's comfortable, maybe close your eyes here. So closing your eyes or just finding a spot to gaze softly. And then let's just begin by tuning into the breath. Noticing your breathing. Noticing the air going in and out of your mouth or nose. And then maybe you set an intention for this class. So finding something to really do your yoga for. So remember why you show up on your mat every single time. Might be really easy at the beginning, you know, it's like, yes, I'm really jazzed for this yoga, I got a good drink, it's really fun. But then, you know, sometimes it gets hard, I make you do plank or chug, and then, or, you know, you get to these poses that you don't really like, or you see something in class that you're just like not jazzed about. But if you can remember that why, if you can remember why you came on your mat, it kind of helps you through those tough moments. So. And that's true in, you know, other things too, but if you can kind of remember why you came. So maybe you go ahead, really vocalize that intention in your head, whether it's to relieve stress, maybe you wanted to stretch out a little bit, get some exercise, or even just, you know, start your Saturday morning off right. Go ahead and take a moment and kind of vocalize that to yourself in your head, why you showed up today. And then we're going to take 3 deep breaths here, all on your own. So if you want to keep thinking about your intention, you can do that. But without my cueing, without any sound, I want you to take 3 deep breaths on your own, either focus on the breath or focus on your intention. So go ahead and take 3 breaths now. And then after your 3 breaths, let's go ahead, let's grab your beverage and let's cheers to those intentions. We're going to have a good class. So cheers to that. Take a sip.
Hey, we're already drinking. Gotta be a good class.
Exactly. Yep. Always good to celebrate those little wins. And then however you're sitting, go ahead and bring your feet in. So kind of like we are already, bring your feet in. If your ankles are crossed, set one ankle in front of the other so that your legs aren't stacked on each other. You might need to take your knees a little bit wider here. As much as you can, at least. If your hips are really tight, they might be kind of stacked. And then on your next inhale, raise your arms up, reach up. And then exhale, fold forward. So folding forward over your legs. Maybe you feel a nice stretch through the right hip here. And then let's take some little waves here. So on your inhale, lengthen. And exhale, maybe you sink a little lower. Walk your fingertips down. Inhale, get length. Exhale, sink a little lower. Last time, getting length. Lengthening the spine. And then exhale down. And then on your inhale, walk your hands back up to seated. And then if your legs are like this, go ahead and take the right leg in front. You just went the wrong way. Right leg in front, left leg in closer.
Right leg was in front.
Yes, take your right leg in front.
It was already in front.
Oh,
Drink.
Rights and lefts are hard, okay? It's still early. Anyway, so left leg is in closer to you. Right leg is out front. And then let's go ahead and take the right leg out long. So send your right leg out towards the upper right corner of your mat. Start by sitting up tall, and then spin your chest towards your right toes, right over your right knee. So on your next inhale, again, take your arms up, and then pretend like you're holding a big beach ball in your fingers, and take the beach ball up and over. Don't worry about where your hands lie, but wherever they land, you can go ahead. Put the beach ball down on the ground, and then put your fingertips down on either side of your leg. Again, not worrying about touching your toes or however far down you are to the ground. You can be up here, but just focusing that stretch again in the right hip, the right glute. And then if you want, we can take 2 more waves here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink your chest. Inhale, lengthen the spine, really getting long in the spine, and then sinking your chest. Inhale, walk your hands back up, reach up again, and then we're going to twist towards the left, so towards your other knee, and then take your right hand onto your left knee, and left hand comes behind you for a little bit of a twist here, a little bit of a counter twist. Think about getting tall now, so there's a theme here, lengthening the spine, not crunching through the back. We're just getting a little twist here. Might feel good on your inner right leg as well. Go ahead and take 1 more breath in here. Let it go. And then inhale, come back through center. And let's go ahead and switch it out. So bring your right heel in closest to you. Your left foot is out front. Again, trying to find this kind of easy seat. It might not be so easy. It's just called that. I don't know who named that. But again, not stacking our legs, but instead kind of having them like almost like a really close equal sign, one in front of the other. And then let's go ahead and repeat this. So inhale, reach up, and then bend forward, fold forward over your legs. If this isn't the typical way you cross your legs, this might feel a little bit different. It might feel a little bit weird. And that's okay. That's kind of what we're going for. Maybe feeling it in the left hip, the left glute, getting a stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, sink it down. Inhale, lengthen, getting long. Exhale, sink it down. Maybe the fingertips walk out. Last one, get really long. Sink your deepest. And then inhale, walk your hands back up. Okay, and then we're going to take our left leg out. So out to the left corner of your mat. Spin your chest towards your left knee. Reach up. And then remember this big beach ball metaphor. Take it up and over. And then go ahead. Plop your beach ball down. Or like kind of bounce it away. And then drop your hands down. So again, thinking about lengthening the spine. A lot of times we think I want to get lower and we round our upper back in order to get there. But if we keep our spine long, we're really going to focus this in the low back and the hips and the glutes where it's really nice to get that stretch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink lower. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink. And then inhale, walk your hands back up, find a straight spine, reach up. And then we're going to twist over to the right, so over to our other knee. Left hand comes to your right knee, and right hand comes behind you. A little counter twist here, twisting it out to the other side. Getting a nice little twist to start class. Still thinking about that tall spine, not bending over to twist a little deeper. Keeping the twist in your mid-back. Take a big inhale, big exhale, And then inhale, go ahead and unwind from this side. So bring your foot back in and either cross your ankles and come forward. We're coming into a tabletop, or swing them to one side. So either way, take a sip if you want. It's a nice in between. Okay. And then walk yourself back, finding a tabletop. So coming onto all fours. Wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Wipe all the snackies off your yoga mat. No judgment here. And then from here, planting your hands, taking them nice and wide. On your inhale, drop your belly, look forward, cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, cat pose. Now we're rounding the upper back. Inhale, cow pose, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. One last time. Deepest drop of your belly, deepest cow pose. Exhale, biggest round, biggest cat pose, scariest Halloween cat. And then come back to neutral here. And then from here, tuck your toes and let's find downward facing dog. So go ahead, peel your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Our first down dog, so maybe pedal the heels out here, pressing one heel to the mat, bending the opposite knee. We have 2-3 breaths here, so feel free to take any other moves that you need here to warm up your down dog. Maybe shake your hips side to side. Take a moment to spread your fingers wide again. Anything you need to warm up. Go ahead and take one more breath here. On your exhale, come back to stillness. And then let's walk our hands back towards our feet for a forward fold. Bend your knees generously as you get there. And then on your next inhale, slowly rise up to standing. So slowly coming up, rolling your spine up one vertebrae at a time until we find mountain pose at the top of the mat. Again, check your feet, see if they're nice and strong beneath you, beneath your hips, palms face forward. And just like we did with that seated pose, try and stand up tall, growing your spine long. We had a lot of practice with that earlier. Take a big breath in here, get tall. Exhale, ground down. On your next inhale, reach up, look up. We're going to start some sun salutations to sync up our breath. And then exhale, forward fold. One breath per movement here. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten your back, parallel with the ground. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, reach up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, reach up tall. Last round, exhale, forward fold, melt down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise up to standing, reach up tall, reach, reach, reach. And exhale, forward fold. Nice job. From here, we're going to walk our hands out, back, but this time we're going to find plank pose. So walk your hands out, drop your hips into plank pose. Again, really strong here. Take a big breath in, and then exhale, lower down to the mat. Knees, thighs, belly, chest, all the way down to the mat. So this is the rest of our sun salutations. From here, pull your shoulder blades and elbows together and look forward, low cobra. And then come back down. So from here, press into your hands and then come up onto all fours again. So back to tabletop, tuck your toes, and find downward facing dog. We're going to do 3 versions of a vinyasa here, so feel free to choose yours. From down dog, take a breath in. and let it go. Inhale, roll forward into a plank. Exhale, lower down to the mat, knees, thighs, belly, chest, or as one unit, all the way to the mat. And then pull your shoulder blades and elbows together, low cobra, or lift your chest for cobra. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. And then come back down. This time, come to all fours or tuck your toes, press into your palms, and press yourself up into plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Whew. So building on here, you can always do any version of these, any of these options. You can mix it up, you can match it up. Last round, take a breath in and out. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, lower down all the way or stop halfway, chaturanga. And then inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Straighten your elbows, lift your thighs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Whew, send your hips back. Nice job here. Take a breath in and out. Actually, I lied. Let's do one more round. Go ahead and choose any three of these versions. I'll kind of cue you through it. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, roll forward into a plank. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice job. Take a breath in and out. From here, gently drop your knees, coming back down to a tabletop onto the mat. If you have a beverage nearby or a glass or really anything else to add a little extra weight and challenge, go ahead and grab that. Go ahead and put it right by the top of your mat. So from tabletop, we're going to do a spinal balance here and a little bit of core work. So let's go ahead and start by plugging your left toes into the back of the mat. So press your left toes into the mat and press back through your left heel to get a little bit of a calf stretch. So I'm going to show you from the side real quick. But I'm in tabletop and then I'm pressing my left heel back. I hope you can see that. I hope it's in camera.
There will be.
Yes.
Yes.
And then you can stay here, getting that nice calf stretch, or lift your left heel in line with your hip. Squeeze your glutes here. Squeeze your core as well to help you lift. Belly button's coming towards your spine. And then if you want, the third option is to go ahead and grab your beverage and reach it forward with your right hand. So taking your drink in your right hand, I thought we'd start with the right hand. Since most of us are right-handed, lefties, we got a little bit of a challenge here. And balancing here, spinal balance. Gaze down at your mat, keeping your ear in line with your spine, or rather your head and neck in line. Take a breath in, breath out. Now if you want a challenge, you can inhale. Exhale, bring your elbow and knee to meet together underneath you. Inhale, reach out. Challenge not to spill the beer too. Exhale, crunch in, elbow and knee. Inhale, reach, 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 serving the beer. Exhale, take it back for yourself. Last one, reach out. And then go ahead, place your beverage down, bring your hand and knee down. And take a breath here. And then we'll go ahead and set up for the other side here. So a little bit of core, a little bit of challenge, a little bit of fun with our beverages. Oh, sorry, my nose itches. I don't know why. And then from here, we're going to do the other side. So take your right toes into the mat. Take them back towards the back. Let's start with this calf stretch. Even if you know you're going to go for the balance, let's just take a moment and stretch out the back of our right leg. Pressing back through your right heel. And then if you want to start to build on, start to lift your right foot. Pull in through the belly. Pull the belly button up. Already starting to engage the core here. And then this time, righties got a little bit more of a challenge. Lefties, you're off the hook. If you're ambidextrous, well, then you are just a lucky duck because we're going to grab our beverages in our left hand this time and reach them forward. Spinal balance here. Maybe you're wiggling a little bit, that's okay. And then if you want the crunches, take a breath in. Exhale, elbow and knee meet underneath you. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Reach, 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 reach. Crunch, in. And then last one, reach out. And then go ahead, drop your beverage.
Or take a sip.
Yeah, come to tabletop, or if you want, take a sip. Nice job with that. Yep. Sip for a good job, and for not spilling. Or if you did spill, that's fine too.
We're not liable.
Nope. And then from here, we're going to find downward facing dog again. So tuck your toes and come back to downward dog. From here, plant your left foot and inhale your right leg up into the sky, three-legged dog. From here, bend your right knee, pull your right heel towards your left glute, and then maybe you circle the ankle here, or maybe you do some hip circles, circling the knee. We've been on our wrists a little bit today, so you do have the option here to drop your left knee, come back into that tabletop position here as you open up the hip. And then you'll just meet us in the next pose. But we're going to go ahead and demo down dog. So take another breath here. Keep moving if you like. On your next inhale, straighten your knee, come back to three-legged dog. And then exhale, bring your right knee into your chest, just like those little crunches we did. And then step your right knee forward. Walk your right foot up in between your hands. We're coming into Crescent Lunge here. Left toes are on the mat, left heel is lifted. Feel nice and strong, and then lift up through your upper body. Maybe arms go up. Maybe they're cactus arms, or maybe they're hands at your hips. Pull your left heel up and get that nice engagement through the left glute here. Notice your core too. So if you're rounding through the back, pull your belly button in, pull your ribs in to get a nice straight spine again. Might make a little bit more stretch on the left hip flexor, and that's okay, we like that. Take a breath in and let it go. So we're going to do some movement next. So just get some movement into this crescent lunge. Again, take another breath in to prepare. Exhale it out. And then inhale, straighten your front knee, straighten your left knee. Lift up. Lift up through the core, through the pit of your belly. Exhale, bend your right knee. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend your knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend the right knee. And then lift up, 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 up. And then stay here as you walk the left foot up and out to the left just a little bit, maybe about, about a third of the way up the mat. We're going to take pyramid pose. So from here, are you getting a block?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so from here, right toes are forward, left toes are out. Straighten your hips, so your hips are coming towards the front of the mat. And then start to bend at the hips. Pull your right hip flexor back. Sending your hands forward. Maybe they come to your hips. Or maybe you bring them all the way down onto your shin, onto a block, onto the floor. Yogi's choice here. But from here, really pull your right hip back. So I know it wants to open up. It knows it's being stretched and it wants to open up. But really pull it back. You got this. Pyramid pose. Feeling a stretch through the outer right hip. If you're not, maybe you Pull the right hip back a little bit more, shift your weight a little bit differently. Feel free to adjust your feet as well. Take a breath in and let it go. One more inhale, and then bring your hands back down to the mat. Bend your right knee, step your left foot back towards the back of the mat. Find this low lunge again. And then drop your left hand and reach your right arm up for a low lunge twist. An option, if you still have the block, to put it under your left hand as well. So putting a block just right here under your left hand. Little twist to end this sequence as well. Take a breath in. Let it go. One more inhale. And then right hand comes down to the mat. Step your right foot back towards the back of the mat, plank pose. And then from here, take a vinyasa like we did earlier, or go right to down dog. So just a little reminder, vinyasa is lowering down, taking your back bend, cobra or up dog, and then finding downward dog. If you're already in downward dog, we'll go ahead and meet there. What?
Hydration time.
Yeah, John needs some water. And then from here, we're going to go ahead, root your right leg down and lift your left leg up towards the sky. Open up your left hip here, bringing your left heel towards your right glute, and then circling the ankle or the knee. Again, option to drop the right knee as well. I'll go ahead and show you that on this side. But anything, just open up the left hip a little bit. Also, gravity is really helpful here as you pull your left foot over. Just getting some opening through the hip, really nice. Take a breath in here. Let it go. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Come back to three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your left knee all the way into your chest. And then step it forward. Finding your crescent lunge on this side. Walk your left foot in between your hands. Right toes are on the mat, right heel is lifted. And then we're going to go ahead and use that core strength we've been working on to lift up into crescent lunge. Your version of crescent lunge here. Keeping a bend in the left knee here. I know you know where we're going, but we're going to go ahead and keep this bend in the left knee. And it's really important as we start that movement to keep this lift through the core, lift through the pit of the belly, pulling the belly button in, pulling the ribs in, so that when we're going up and down, we're not exaggerating any arch in the spine. If it really is bugging you on your right hip flexor, feel free to step your right foot up a little bit. That might make it easier to straighten through the spine. Take a breath in, let it go. Inhale, straighten your left knee, lift up. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, reach up, straighten up. Exhale, bend down. Last inhale, lift up. And then walk your right foot up, setting up for a pyramid pose this time. Right foot comes up, right toes are out to the right. It's out to the right. Your right foot's out to the right a little bit too. Start by squaring your hips. Really mindfully bring your attention to your hip. Bring your focus to your hips. And then once you feel like they're really square, go ahead and bend forward. Bending from the hips like we're a piece of paper being folded right here. And then again, hands come out to your hips. Or my favorite, down on your leg. Pull your left hip back. Notice if you're letting it fall forward. Even I noticed there, I've been doing this pose for a long time, and I just noticed that my hips were opening up a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and pull my left hip back. Maybe pull your right hip forward a little bit too. Keeping them nice and square to the front of the mat. breathing here. Maybe you send your breath to that outer left hip, to that left IT band. The breath is here for you. Go ahead and use it how your body wants to. Take a big breath in. Let it go. One more big inhale. Stay here. And then exhale, bend your left knee, bring your hands to the mat, and step your right foot back towards the back of the mat. Low lunge here. And then for the twist on this side, you're going to drop your right hand, lift your left arm up. So opposite hand and opposite foot are forward. Right foot and left foot. Breathing here. Squeeze your legs towards the center. So squeezing them towards the midline instead of letting them fall out. Big breath in. Let it go. One more inhale, and then bring your left hand down to the mat. Step your left foot back, plank pose, and then last chance for a vinyasa here, or go straight to down dog. Yogi's choice here. Remember, any version of your vinyasa that you like. We'll all meet back in down dog. And then from down dog, walk your hands back towards the back of the mat, finding a forward fold. And then this time, let's take a ragdoll here. So take your feet wide, let your upper body hang loose, bend your knees generously, more than you think you need today. And then let's just hang here. Maybe grab opposite elbows, maybe sway back and forth. Let's just take a moment here, be upside down. Notice if you're swaying back and forth, how your weight's shifting between each foot. And if you're not, notice how it's evenly distributed between your 2 feet. Take one more breath here in. Exhale, drop your elbows, walk your feet back in. And then on your next inhale, slowly roll up to standing. Finding mountain pose again. Nice and strong. And then we're going to do some balances here. So if you want, you can shake it out. Move the wrists. I know we did a little bit on the wrists. Move the ankles and the toes. If you want another challenge, go ahead and grab your beer again. Or grab your beverage. We have beer. A little extra challenge while you're balancing. We're not going to sit, but holding something makes it a little bit more difficult.
I'm not sip.
Yeah, take a sip if you need a little help balancing here. Alcohol might not be the best help.
No.
Okay. But we're going to take tree pose here. So take your beverage into your right hand. Root your weight into your right foot. Let's go ahead and kickstand the left. And then keeping a nice soft bend in your right knee as well. So a lot of times we want to lock it out, especially since I say like root in through your right foot. But keep a nice soft bend in your right foot. And then if you want to challenge yourself, take the sole of your left foot into your right leg. So maybe on the ankle, maybe the calf, maybe higher up. And then take your branches where they want to go. So keeping the drink in your right hand for a little bit of a challenge. You can take them out. If you want to challenge yourself to take a sip here, you can do that. Beast mode right there.
Oh, yes. Close your eyes if you want to activate hard mode.
Oh, yes. If you close your eyes or look up, that's another challenge. I'm trying to give you guys some options here. I don't want you, thinking this class is easy. Just kidding. You can think about this class whatever you want. We just want to make you laugh. Which is probably making balancing much harder. Nice job. Take one more breath here. And then drop your left foot and shake it out again. Whew. Right ankle needs some blood back in there. Take a sip for a good job. You're right, I can taste more hazelnut.
Yeah.
As it warms up a little bit, it's really good. Really good.
You need some Nutella toaster and Nutella beer.
Yes. Now let's go ahead and do the other side. Go ahead and switch your beverage to the other hand. Work the other bicep slightly. Root your weight into your left foot. Kickstand your right. Remember that soft bend in your left knee again. And then same thing here. Feel free to bring the sole of your right foot onto your left leg. Tree pose. And again, branches go where they want to go. Maybe they're hop vines today. I know it's not technically a tree, but since we do have a beer, got some hop vines growing out to the side, growing up. You've seen vines that go wherever they want. Oops. Ooh, that sip didn't help.
It's not vines anymore, it's TikToks.
That's right. Gotta keep up with the cool kids.
That was the lamest thing I've ever said on the internet.
Yeah.
Woo. I almost fell because of it. I earned that one.
Send us a thumbs up if John needs to start a TikTok.
No.
Breathe here.
I'm a very old man.
Are you going for the sip again?
Yeah.
Nice job. Woo. Take one more breath in here. And then drop your right foot. Shake it out. Take a sip if you want. Nice job. Wait, go ahead, put your beverage down. And then we're actually going to come onto our stomachs today. So go ahead, come back down onto the mat. And then roll down onto your stomach. Coming onto your belly like a little penguin. And then we're going to set up our back bends here. We're going to set up for a locust pose. So for that, go ahead and follow John. I'm going to talk to the camera. But go ahead, put one cheek on the mat. Place your hands back by your hips. And then on your next inhale, start to lift your fingertips, your feet, squeeze your legs together. And then start to lift your arms and then your chest. Keeping lots of space through the back of the neck, not crunching up. Maybe if you need to take a quick peek at the camera, do that. But then look back down. Lots of space back here in the back of the neck. Breathe here. Maybe you lift up so much, the only thing on your mat is your belly. Breathing here. Arms are reaching out behind you. Shoulder blades pulling together. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze those glutes. Take a big breath in, and then come back down to the mat. Nice job. Maybe take your other cheek to the mat. Bend your knees, and then windshield wiper them side to side. Careful of your yoga partner. And then when you're ready to set up for the next one, you can come back for locust pose or keep your knees bent and grab your ankles or the legs of your pants for bow pose. So go ahead, grab those. Otherwise, you can come back to locust like we just did. Are you going to do locust?
Yep.
Okay, so John's going to do locust if you need to peek at him. I'm going to do bow pose to show you the next one. But let's go ahead. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale it out. And then inhale again. Start to lift up your arms, your legs, your thighs. Lift your chest up. Either one, locust or bow. The difference is if you're in bow, press your feet out and squeeze your legs together. So I know it's easier to separate your legs, squeeze them together, pull your shoulder blades together. Locust or bow. Squeeze your glutes. Use that for lift. You got this. Use your breath. Feel the belly fill up and empty as you're up on it. 2 breaths here. In and out. One more big breath in. And then release your feet. Come back down to the mat. Maybe take another cheek to the mat. Swapping it out again. And then windshield wiper your legs side to side. And then we got one more back bend. So you can do locust or bow, or more of our restorative back bend is going to be Sphinx pose. So for Sphinx pose, you're going to drop your feet again and then bring your hands forward. Line up your elbows either underneath your shoulders or more in front of your shoulders to make it less intense. But palms flat on the mat or on the ground in front of you. And then we're going to lift up through the chest. Again, finding that length in the back of your neck. So not like tilting your head back like a sexy, sexy snake, but instead finding that length. Pull your shoulders away from your ears here. And then this is just Sphinx pose here, sitting in this pose. There's not much movement on the outside. A lot of the movement is isometrically. It comes from inside. Maybe you pull your forearms back on the mat. They don't actually move, but you're pulling your forearms back as your chest comes forward slightly. And then focusing this pose in the low back, so you might feel a nice stretch there. Breathing here in and out. Go ahead and stay here for 2 more breaths at your own pace. I'm not going to count them for you. And then when you're done with your 2 breaths, go ahead and send yourself back for child's pose. So you can press up onto your knees, maybe take your knees wide, walk them forward, and come back for child's pose. And then when you're ready, come back into a tabletop pose. So, if you've been to my BYOB yoga classes, you know that we like to have a little fun with something I like to call plank or chug. And what that entails is that I'm going to set a timer for 1 minute. And during that 1 minute, we're either going to do an exercise or you have the option to chug your beverage. And if you have water, you can chug your water too.
And if you have a big ass stop like we do, you might be in trouble.
But that's what makes it fun. So today we're going to do side planks. So I'm going to demo side planks real quick. So you have 2 options here. I'm going to show them from the side here. So coming from tabletop, so this is for your right side. So right hand's down. I'm going to keep my right leg down. My left foot's going to go towards the back of the mat. And then my left arm is going to lift up. So this is supported side plank. I'm engaging my left side here, pressing my right hand into the mat, pressing my left hand away. And then if you want to build on this pose, so this is supported side plank, this is an option. If you want to build on it for full side plank, you're going to send your left foot to the back of the mat as well. Or sorry, right foot to the back of the mat to meet your left foot. So full side plank here. Option to stack your feet as well if that's more comfortable for you. So go ahead, decide which version you're going to do. We're going to do 30 seconds for each side, so know that you get a little reprieve halfway through. So like I said, I'm going to set a 1 minute timer. At 30 seconds, I'll yell switch. And at any time during this, you can do side plank, you can chug your beer, whatever you want to do. But challenge yourself here. Okay, so go ahead and set up for side plank starting on the right side in 3, 2, 1, go. So side plank, right side. Yeah, right hand, or right side, just to clarify, is right hand down. Breathing here. Even feel free to mix up side plank and supported side plank. You got this. Halfway done on this side. You got this. Keeping your breath going. 10 seconds left on the right side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch to the left side. Go ahead, take your left side down. Option this time, your left leg would go down for supported side plank. So left leg would drop. Or keep both feet on the mat. You got this. We're more than halfway done with this. Oh, and we're halfway done with this side. You got this. You can hold it. Stay strong through your core. And we are at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Ooh, come back to your mat. Take a second, maybe take a sip if you're not sick of it. Or take a child's pose. Or just die like John. Didn't think you'd collapse without a little beer.
Yeah, good point. Now I'll collapse.
Okay, there you go. And then don't worry, we're going to meet on our backs. I got a nice little reward for you after all that. Okay. So, coming onto your back, we're going to take reclined butterfly pose. So, take the soles of your feet together, knees fall out to either side. Pull your heels in for a little bit more of a stretch and send them longer for more of a restorative pose. And then we're going to take our hands and interlace your fingers together. Palms go out, thumbs are out so they're below. And then take this little net you've made and put it behind your head. So behind your head, the thumbs reaching down your neck. And then we're just going to do a little bit of a little self-massage here. So you're going to take your thumbs and just run them up and down the back of your neck here. Pressing your thumb pads into your neck. If you like little scritchies on your hairline, you can do that. Little scritchy scratchies. Just give yourself a nice little massage here. If you pull your thumbs and your fingers all the way up into your hair, you might find your occipital ridge, which is where the edge of your skull or the base of your skull meets your neck. You can pull on that gently. That might feel really good. Or massage there. A lot of times that gets kind of tense. So just a nice little massage is a little reward for doing those side planks. Or chugging if you chugged a lot of beer. I also commend you and think you deserve an award. And then feel free to stay here, or if you want, we're going to take happy baby pose for our last pose. So from here, you're just going to pull your knees into your chest, and then you can grab behind your knees, your feet, or your toes, and then just pull them into the mat, or pull your knees into your armpits. And you're a little baby, so you can rock side to side. And then feel free to take any other pose here that your body's craving. A little cherry on top to end the class if you like an inversion, or if you like a different hip stretch or a different back bend, you can always do that. Maybe straighten one leg for a hamstring stretch. Or just stay here with us in happy baby for these last few breaths. Taking this moment for you, really check in, see what your body needs. Maybe you come back to that intention you set at the beginning of class and see if there's anything else that would help you achieve that. And then when you're ready, go ahead and take your knees into your chest. Go ahead and curl up into a ball. Give yourself a nice big hug. Whisper to yourself, thank you for being here today. And then release long. Good morning stretch. Send your toes long. Send your arms overhead. Getting length from fingertip to toe tip. Take the deepest breath in you've taken all day. And then find Savasana. Final resting pose. Maybe widen your feet. Let your feet flop out. Take your hands out to the side. Let them flop out as well. Release all your fingers. And then we're going to repeat that exercise here of taking 3 3 deep breaths all on your own. Again, maybe you bring your focus to your attention. Maybe you bring your focus to your breath. 3 deep breaths here, all on your own. Go ahead and start. And then if you'd like, you can go ahead and continue breathing like this. Maybe compare and contrast how you felt at the beginning of class with those 3 breaths compared to these 3 breaths at the end of class after 15 minutes of sipping and doing yoga. Lastly, wherever you are, if you'd like to bring your hands together at your heart center, I often end my classes with a moment of gratitude. So maybe take a moment to find something that you can be grateful for this week. Just hold that in your mind. A moment for the frontline workers who have been battling this pandemic for all of us, the doctors, the nurses, the grocery store workers. A moment of gratitude for the ancient yogis that invented this practice a long, long time ago. And a moment of gratitude for yourself for showing up to breathe and move today. Lastly, the light in me sees and honors that same divine light that exists in each and every one of you. As we close our practice, I invite you, wherever you are, to repeat to yourself, Namaste. Namaste. Thanks for coming. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Woo. How's that hazelnut now?
Oh, it's delicious.
Oh, yeah.